All right, so since I have limited time, I'm going to ask that you read this on your own, and then we will come back and talk about the annotations and the things that we found in them. So I want you to go ahead and read the copy of Bad Boy that you have in front of you, starting at the he. All right, now that we have read Bad Boy, I'm going to highlight some parts of this that we've noticed all of the things that we talked about. So, oh my gosh. So I'm going to start with this. He had a glint in his eye, and I knew he was going to laugh. I opened my mouth, and he put his hand across his mouth again to hold in his laugh. This is a good example of sentence structure. So both of these sentences are compound sentences right in a row, and we can talk more about why the author would do that. I also noticed this, Mrs. Conway's doghouse. That is a good example of a metaphor. So Mrs. Conway's doghouse is not actually a doghouse. It just means that he's in trouble. And then here, with her screaming at him that he couldn't be a comedian all his life, he went on to become a television comedian and is still doing well. This is a wonderful example of irony. So she was yelling at him that he couldn't do this his entire life, yet here he is, and he did it his entire life. Here's a wonderful example of personification with purely imagined scenarios that would dance through my mind. All right. So scenarios cannot actually dance through someone's mind, but it's giving a person a human quality to a non human thing. Continuing on. Oops, I lost where I was going. There's some good word choice. So, like winning the best grade in the subject, that's an interesting view. I would blurt out answers. Um, this is a wonderful example of foreshadowing, which you know already because you finished it. But this guy is good at English, and he's probably still going to be good at English. Biggest punch he ever had in the back of his big head is a good example of alliteration. Even though they're not all right in a row, there's a B, 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 B over and over again. Oops. Mrs. Conway was an enormously hippie woman. This is all wonderful examples of imagery. And not only is it imagery, but there's also a great metaphor in here. We really see that this lady, we understand what she looks like. And then here again, there's another great example of imagery. She snatched up the comic from me and tore it up, dropped all the pieces on my desk, made me pick them up and take them to the garbage can. I can see this happening in the book. Snatched is a really good word choice. She sputtered is great onomatopoeia, but also alliteration. She was furious. Furious is an excellent word. She snapped. Like we are getting her emotions based on this word choice. Let's see. There's more full of magic events. I realized I liked books and I liked reading. This is good parallelism. The me who read the books, who followed the adventures, seemed more real me than me. This is great sentence structure. And then from that day on, I liked Mrs. Conway. I still didn't get, she would read mine. So that's a good, this is the proving that he likes language arts or English or whatever she teaches. Okay, so we very quickly went through this, and I know that it wasn't a lot of time, but we went through and we discussed all of the things that we noticed. So you're going to hop onto the next video, and we're going to talk about the graphic organizer and how to fill out the graphic organizer based on